I tell people that my parents died, people assume it was some sort of an accident. And to me, it's just, cancer is just like the devil's lottery. It just happens to people. And it's totally unexplainable and it's totally unfair. And it struck twice in my family with my parents. It's a story that is deeply painful, but also one that I think is important to share, because it's also a story of survival. My father was always the light in the room, the light of the party, and was a really fun-loving, charismatic person. He would take me to work often. He was a photojournalist and really believed in involving me and exposing me to as much as possible as a young girl. And he and I just had a very close, fun-loving relationship. My mother was actually a bit more reserved, but very kind-hearted. She also cared a lot about social issues. She was always first in line to join a protest, and she was a journalist as well. She was a reporter. She had a really tremendously strong work ethic, and I saw how hard she worked and how passionate she was about sharing stories. And they had a really great relationship throughout my childhood, even though they were divorced. And I sometimes like to say that as a divorced couple, they got along better than some married couples. And I grew up seeing that. When my mom got sick, it was a complete surprise to everyone. There was no warning, really. And I remember the day so vividly. I was heading out to my job at Starbucks. I was 18 years old, and my mom was outside. She was watering the roses. She was wearing a shimmery green shirt. It was a beautiful day, and she was smiling and waved goodbye to me, and I headed off to work. That was an important day because that was the last day I remember her as being healthy and living a long life. It was just a memory that is so vivid in my mind and always will be, because she was so happy and she was so at peace, and she in her mind was gonna live a long life, and she was gonna see me grow up and become an adult and get married and have children. Sorry. And that was the last day that she could live that life and to have those hopes. And it was just amazing how quickly it all changed. I mean, just in an instant, it all changed. To hear a doctor say your mom has terminal lung cancer and that she probably won't live for more than 3 months, it just everything that seemed important was no longer important, other than her and getting through this and hoping for some sort of a miracle. And that's when I understood why people cling to hope and how hope gets people through the darkest times in their lives, because that's the one thing that we were able to hold on to. My dad started to get very sick right after I finished college, and called me, told me something was going on, and we had a series of visits to a number of doctors, and eventually found out that he had stomach cancer. My biggest fear was that my dad would get sick too, and it happened. He died 4 months after he got sick. It was very, very quick. My dad died in November of 2005, and my mom passed away in March of 2006. So it was less than 6 months apart. I was just incapable of feeling love from anybody, really. And that was scary, and I understood how you could just sort of go numb because of the pain. But I actually forced myself to feel again, because I thought if I don't feel anything, that's really scary. But if I at least feel the pain, at least I'm feeling something. And so I sort of surrendered to the pain and allowed myself to feel it. And that's what got me through it, to be honest, was actually feeling the pain and feeling the sadness, because then I wasn't numb. And if I could feel the pain, then maybe I could also feel the love. And that was sort of the first step to surviving. Finding love was something that I was afraid of for a long time after my parents passed away, because I wasn't sure it was something that was for me. I just didn't know if it was going to happen. I didn't know if it was in my cards. And my husband and I met, and I think it was love at first sight. And the rest was history. And we are the best of friends, and we have an amazing child together, and I am so grateful for the love I have with him. And I really feel that in many ways, meeting Joseph is my parents in a way reaching out, and I know it sounds extreme, but he's such a gift, and Max is such a gift that it's the universe saying, I'm sorry for what happened, but now you have your own family. And it's a gift. It's definitely a gift, and every day I'm really grateful. I wanted to create something that had a branding awareness for lung cancer awareness. It's what I had worked in for a number of years. And breast cancer has the pink ribbon, and lung cancer has nothing. And it's the #1 cancer killer in women. Many women who get lung cancer didn't smoke. It's the #1 cancer killer in men. And I decided that there should be an object to associate with lung cancer awareness, and decided that that object should be pearls, because one of the awareness colors for lung cancer is pearl. Another color is clear, because it's an invisible disease. And so then the Perl Project was born, and I started an online community and campaign to think pearls for lung cancer awareness. My mom wore pearls. My mom loved pearls. And there are all these parts of the Perl Project that start to come out. The pearl is my mom's birthstone. I didn't know that. And I keep pulling up pictures of her, and she's wearing pearls. And it's become very symbolic for me, and very powerful. I found out I'm pregnant with my second baby. I found out on Father's Day. And actually, that morning I woke up having a dream about my dad. And I was dreaming about my dad. We were at a play group with Max, and we were dancing. And there were a number of people in line, and the next person in line was my dad. And he was my dance partner. And then I woke up, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's Father's Day. And, oh, this is the day I also would take my pregnancy test. And then I found out I was pregnant with my second child, and it was a really beautiful moment, because I felt my dad's love during that whole really unforgettable moment as well. And now Max is going to be a big brother, and I'm really excited. And I also see my mom and Max. I see my dad and Max, and I see that continuation. And in many ways, this new life helps me understand death more. And he's the future, and my parents are the past, and I'm still the bridge. And I'm really grateful to have that in my life.